brother's addicted to opioids and now is a heroin addict and has been in and out of jail for years, all because of them.
He really started around 16, 17 years old, growing up in the city of Boston. It was difficult because, it was hard to kind of keep away. I saw it myself from drugs, and it brought on depression. And I don't think anybody really understood the power that these had. He missed out on a ton of family functions. He was here for the first time in 5 years. We spent a Christmas together. They really were the culprits behind all the excess drugs that are on the streets right now. So here you have, these guys in suits sitting in this office selling drugs. I think opioids, they have a part in society, right? Serious cancer patients in serious pain. But these things end up on the street. We're killing people. It's just crazy that we would allow this. My brother would relapse, but then my mom would call me in a panic, screaming, in Italian, I just found another burnt spoon. And so for me, this burnt spoon, it's more of a symbol, and it's kind of etched in my head of this phone call. I had the idea probably about a year ago, why don't I make a big version of this thing in metal?
And this spoon represents accountability. It's creating that conversation and letting people know that we're not going to let them literally get away with murder anymore.
And our intent is really to take this massive 10-foot spoon and drop it in front of Purdue Pharma.
We got cops at 9 o'clock. By far, the lead architect of the opioid epidemic.
Meantime, a local artist touched by the opioid crisis taking his anger directly to the front door of major pharmaceutical company, recently sued by Massachusetts. All this in the form of an
artistic protest outside Purdue Pharma in Stamford,
Connecticut, and bringing light to this issue.
The sculpture, a 10-foot-long, 800-pound heroin spoon.
Created by Domenic Esposito.
Artist Domenic Esposito.
Artist Domenic
Esposito turned up outside the company headquarters today. It's a protest against the opioid crisis.
The artist hopes its message about the opioid crisis will
call attention to those that the artist believes are responsible.
We dropped this massive 800-pound, 10-foot spoon in front of Purdue Pharmaceutical right on their doorsteps. The spoon was impounded, a gallery owner was arrested, and it inspired a lot of activists to actually start getting involved and start in making their voice louder and louder. That inspired this rally on Purdue Pharma August 17th, and that inspired other rallies. There was one at the Smithsonian Sackler Museum. We drove up to the State House and dropped another spoon, this time not in protest, but as a gift to Maura Healey for her efforts in fighting the opioid crisis. I was recognized by the Museum of Modern Art and MoMA. They wanted me to come in and speak. I was contacted by the Museum of Fine Arts of MFA in Boston and really started working really hard towards this conference. I actually started educating how pharmaceutical had created this web of influence, but we had some remarkable speakers there. So we load the truck back up again and drop another spoon in front of Rhodes Pharmaceutical. Rhodes is owned by Purdue Pharmaceutical, right? What we wanted to do was put them on the map and just show how evil Purdue Pharmaceutical was by starting a company like Rhodes, literally tripling their market share in the United States for opioids. We took another spoon, this time to the Health and Human Services building in Washington, D.C. This one was stamped with the names FDA in protest of the FDA's role in fueling the opioid epidemic in this country. They've allowed these pharmaceutical companies to continue unabated.
Wake up, FDA! Wake up, FDA! Wake
Pretty
up,
unfathomable
FDA!
that this day and age, given all the deaths, that they would approve an even stronger dosage of an opioid. You know, they're supposed to be protecting lives and not killing us. We started the Honor Signature Tour, where we're taking a spoon, this time as a white canvas with nothing on it, and having loved ones sign it.
Opioid crisis hits families across the country hard, and one artist is traveling around the East Coast to show them that they are not alone.
It's becoming a portable place of healing.
A traveling symbol in the fight against the opioid epidemic made its way to Binghamton yesterday.
We're moving to Coventry now,
drawing awareness across the country.
I can remember, like it was yesterday, walking into this kind of conference room, and they had laid out all these the posters and the photos of all their kids and loved ones that they've lost, and with the dates of, that they were born and the dates that they died. Or you walk in this room, and then all four walls are just covered in all these photos, and each photo and poster represents a person that, one of our children that died because of this epidemic.
We must remember, and it is why we are here today, that every person who is struggling with substance use disorder was a child once. Children like yours and mine.
I wish for one day heaven would open up those castle gates, lifting the weight of being forced to remember my fallen friend's face. Can we just have one more date, one more warm embrace, one more moment we can't replace instead of the memory that we celebrate? Please make sure they're in a peaceful place. Sons, daughters, fathers, sisters, and brothers, friends, cousins, aunts, uncles, and mothers. We remember the big smiles and warm hugs of those we love, angels looking down from heaven above. We remember the laughs and the tears that were cried. We remember how happy they made us feel inside, and the memory will always survive as long as that we're alive. We remember with love and compassion. Our love is everlasting. We remember so they didn't die in vain, using their strength as a driving force to push forward change. We remember through videos and still frames. We remember their light burning bright through the tip of the flame.
To this day, I really struggle to understand how this all happened and when, more importantly, it will end. But I know that collectively, we'll make a difference together. Along this journey, I met some remarkable people. The mothers, the fathers, brothers, sisters, wives of those lost to this horrific disease. Their faces, stories, now etched in my mind and in my heart. And let the world know you will never forget, and you will never stop fighting for an end. You will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated.
Let's all wake up and fight this evil that's around us, right here in this building. This is a reminder that they're not escaping. Killed thousands and thousands of people. And we're no longer going to stand for this. And we want to bring accountability with this movement and awareness to everybody that you're not alone.